Hi Sagittarius, and welcome to your March 2023 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky coming on to talk to you about your month ahead. I hope you're all doing really well and enjoying some pretty awesome energy coming in for you all. I think that things are quite hopeful for Sagittarius. I feel like you have a lot of free space and wiggle room in your experience right now. I have already read for, I think, like 10 of the other signs so far this month. And I already feel that you are kind of by default in an easier place if you like to be. So why is that the case? Well, first of all, Pluto is moving into Aquarius this month for a little while, which is automatically going to be a relief for you. So Pluto in Capricorn for the last 15 years is a very peripheral semi-sextile angle to Sagittarius, which means it can be a bit of a blind spot, or it can be hard to look directly at for instance, the power source in your life or the gravitation of certain experiences. You might not really understand the actual root or the actual substance of certain experiences in your life. And that was kind of just an overtone for your sign for the last 15 years since 2008 when Pluto left your sign. So now Pluto moves into Aquarius, and you get a little bit of foreshadowing about what this next 20-year cycle will be like. It's not permanent because it's going back into Capricorn this summer, but it will be then moving back into Aquarius at the end of this year. So first of all, the sextile angle is much better for you. It's the Aquarius-Sagittarius angle is really airy. It's kind of windy. It's going to help you to ignite your inner fire element, right? You're a fire sign, so the air sign of Aquarius will help you to build and grow. So it's going to be important for you guys to start thinking about expansion, okay? And I think that a lot of you aren't expecting it. I honestly feel that the triple Capricorn conjunction of 2020 pushed a lot of Sages down or made them feel restrained or oppressed or overly confined to certain spaces. And now automatically, and it depends on where your Sagittarius placements are, especially if you're an earlier Sagittarius, like 0 to 3 degrees, Sag, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Stellium, you will start to feel like you have a lot more at your disposal. So a lot more means, perhaps a lot more financial means, perhaps it's not even financial. Maybe this is stopping getting in your own way. Maybe this is very much just about your mental capacity, your focus limits, okay? So where previously you might have been unable to focus on things, unable to remember certain things, unable to explicitly be who you are, like sort of like the feeling of being in the closet, honestly. And I'm not just referencing that when speaking of sexuality, but it could be something like that. But anything in life where you feel like you have to hide your true expression was very likely over the last 15 years with Pluto and Capricorn. So for some of you, there's a proverbial coming out of the closet in this greater cycle of Pluto and Aquarius, and I feel that that will be very liberating for you. Also getting more direct and honest in your aspirations and not having to beat around the bush, not having to do things in roundabout ways, being able to get right to the heart of things. That's already coming up for you guys in the month of March, especially once we hit Aries season. Okay, so after the equinox. But before then, I feel like it's wonderful. I feel like before the time of the equinox, Pisces season is equally as healing for you. It's a wonderful time for massage therapy. It's a wonderful time for sauna or for also random memories. So I have a lot of Sagittarius in my own chart, and I've found it interesting how just a lot of long time ago memories just kind of naturally flow in, and that's just a part of the natural synergy of Pisces season. But this month it's different because we have Saturn moving into that sign, right? We have Neptune already in that sign and the minor asteroid of Nessus, so there's a lot of energy in the sign of Aquarius and Pisces in this collective 11th and 12th house. A lot of energy there, and it's good for Sagittarius. I mean, the Pisces square can be hit or miss for Sag, but for Sagittarians who have water in their charts or are more familiar and work better with the water element, I think it's one of the more supported times I've seen for you guys in my entire time as a reader since 2016. So I just want you guys to know that. And knowing that that's coming in, especially after the equinox, I feel that, spark of magic with Aries. Of course, we've just had the Jupiter-Venus conjunction in the sign of Aries in early March. That's already doing it for you all, even though the sun hasn't gotten there. I feel like that's been very good for Sagittarius, that Jupiter-Venus conjunction. Also with Chiron in Aries, that's deep purpose channeling through in a direct and clear way. I think that a lot of you have a lot more understanding of what you do and don't want in your life, and I think that you also have divine support. So it's beautiful, Sag. Let's talk about your week to week. First week of March, you have the Two of Pentacles reversed or done by the World. Okay, I feel that there are minor things that are really chaotic. So even though I'm sitting here telling you that this is one of the most liberating and freeing energies that I've felt for Sagittarius in my time as a reader, that is true. But that doesn't just come easily, okay? In order to be liberated, people have to break with the confines, which is not always pretty and not always easy to do and not always directly seeming like the right thing to do. So there's something of that coming up for you in the first week. Like, can I do all of this at once? Probably not. I feel like a lot of you have been masters of like juggling, multitasking, and have been supported in that. But this is a time where it's not that I see you not multitasking or that you have to just focus on one thing and single it out, but I feel that there's a lot of debris or a lot of miscellaneous energies that need to be concluded with during this time. So the Two of Pentacles reversed is like not being able to choose, not being able to come to a single mind. And when it's reversed, it means it's tangential. Okay, so it's not really necessary to have these kinds of conflicts. So definitely look at unnecessary disputes in your life, or even elevated problems. So things that don't have to be this big of a problem, things that don't have to be this way. The World rooting that down is hopeful because it says maybe you're ending that cycle in the first week. So it's big stuff on the line in the first week of March. Like you might decide during that time your next like 20-year goal. You might be deciding based on the confinements that you're breaking with the oncoming path. And also it's like the final time that you looked at something hard, or the final time that you didn't just walk away as well from something difficult. So I think that most of you will, though. It's a good energy, but it's not easy, but it's hopeful in the longer term energetic disposition for you. Week number 2, the King of Wands rooted down by the Eight of Pentacles. I'm sorry, the Eight of Cups. My brain just saw Eight of Pentacles. I saw King of Pentacles there, and it moved over. So we'll look at both of those ideas. But King of Wands and the Eight of Cups, your creativity is changing form. The way that you create, the way that you also express yourself. Self-expression is really changing for you here. And I would definitely encourage you all to look at the ways that you have masked your self-expression or haven't allowed yourself to be who you know you are. That type of simple truth would be important to look at during Pisces season. You can get a lot of relevant universal guidance and understanding about better self-expression, because we underestimate that sometimes, like how much our self-expression and the way that we hold space, the way that we show ourselves, not just to other people, but just the way that we emit energy as beings, it doesn't always get the credit of like how big of an impact it has on our psychological well-being, how big of an impact it has on our placement as well, like how well we place ourselves in situations. So there's a very strong connection building, and this is Pluto in Aquarius. This is Pluto in Aquarius energy coming in. It's great. As we step out of Pluto in Capricorn, we can't fake it, okay? We can't like pretend we're something we're not. We have to like really step into our truth, and we're going to get much further that way, okay, rather than falsifying who we are or anything like that. So just remember that, Sagittarius. Sometimes Sagittarius likes to wear the mask, okay? Sometimes Sagittarius likes to play the part or play the role. And I think that you do better from here, and especially 2024 and forward, right? Like once we get Pluto permanently in Aquarius, or at least for the next 18 or so years, it's much better to just be who you are, and you might have to walk away from a certain character or caricature, and that feels very freeing. Week number 3, the Seven of Swords, rooted down by the King of Pentacles. Okay, security. Watch out for any forms of theft or any forms of placing yourselves in situations that are not safe. And I think I was talking about this, I want to say in like Virgo's reading this month, and definitely in the extended reading, where people have to understand if they're proverbially in a like hidden alleyway, or if they're trying to like take shortcuts, or if they're trying to, you know, cross through the forest instead of taking the road. These aren't wrong. These are also teaching experiences, but who is there, what is there, and what are you working with? Watch out for things that are not actually making sense in the long term, right? Like, why would anybody not take the shortcut if the shortcut were a good thing to take? Why would anybody take the long haul? It's important to think about things like that as a Sagittarius, especially if you have like very like loose cannon Sagittarius energy, like Mars in Sagittarius or Mercury in Sagittarius, even Moon in Sagittarius. You can be like, oh my gosh, there's a shortcut, I'm taking it, and all of a sudden there's like, oh no, it's a trap type of thing. So try to really assess your path work right now, because we do have to be smart with that. Because also you're more substantial. You're maybe not just like a 19-year-old sort of whimsy person. Maybe like now you're a really powerful, wealthy adult, and that's a different context for what types of paths you engage in. So just assess that. Week 4, the Moon rooted down by the Chariot. Where are you going? I think that a lot of Sagittarians just enjoy the ride and enjoy the climbing of the mountain more than even getting to the top. And maybe you might be suspending in some type of like climbing process and not really know what you're moving towards. Try to get clear with that, because you do have to change something. I feel that many of you have to go somewhere else or have to try something new. So try to understand what the point of that is, and don't just like kind of vacillate with it or just exist in it, okay? Let's talk more about that in your extended Sag. I'm going to get a central theme into supporting themes, and we'll talk more about the equinox for you, and also movement and transition and transportation, as I feel that coming up for you. That's linked below and in the center of your screen. Have a beautiful month. Talk to you soon. Bye.